Today, we're just going to get right into it as your favorite talking head does his best to review another television show. That's right, another Apple TV show that just finished up on Friday. The lovely Crowded Room, starring the always great Tom Holland. And here's my review. Hi, I'm your host, Chris Humphrey, and for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm just another guy trying to make some passive-aggressive money. No, I'm not worried about the money, but just try to get my opinion out there because I think you guys should be watching Apple TV stuff. And maybe you start with this show. Maybe you start with this dark and twisty and disturby The Crowded Room, starring, what's his name again? Spider-Man? Tom Holland and Amanda Seyfried and a bunch of other day players that do such a great job at filling out the cast in this dark premise. Now, since you guys know I changed my format, I'm going to give you the score right away and tell you how I got there based off of what I did, starting with the bad and then finishing with the good, because it's always good to finish with the good. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's nowhere near as perfect, but I have read the book as a fellow criminal justice student in the past. Humber College, represent. This was one of the books we had to do our project on, The Minds of Billy McGinnis. And the book is, if you ask me, terrible. But it does do a good job at showing you somebody starting with multiple personality disorder or split personality disorder, depending on who you ask, when it wasn't popular, and how he got off on raping a lot of women, Billy McGinnis. Well, that's what this show is based off of. And that probably gives you a reason why Tom Holland said he took a break off of acting, because it is very dark and very deep. And he's the best part of the show, hands down, because he gets a juicy role. You get to see him act, which is good. The problem with it, the problem with the show in particular, is it's very slow. Now, because I had read the book, but my wife would have guessed this plot halfway through, and she did, because there was just something off. It just took about 3 or 4 episodes to catch its groove, and then once it did, it all started making sense, and the signs were there, and that's what made it good. Like I said, you can see why Tom Holland took a break. It's a very dark material, right? Billy McGinnis was a troubled human, had a shitty life. Now, he's not playing Billy McGinnis because probably couldn't get the rights for that, and I don't want anybody to play Billy McGinnis because, right, the poor woman that he raped, it still haunts them, right? And people don't understand that. But his character, Danny Sullivan, is going through some problems where he fires a gun in the middle of a busy area in the lovely, what was it, New York or LA? Can't remember where they put it in. And now he's in jail, wanted for trying to shoot somebody, and I think he injured 4 people. And now a psychiatrist comes in, the lovely Amanda Seyfried, who's a very talented actress. If you don't know who she is, I don't know, where do we start? Wasn't she the weather lady in the Mean Girls grabbing her boobs? Was that her? But she's come a long way from where she is. She did a great job on, was it The Dropout? Was that the one? Is that the one where she's playing the crazy lady who's probably going to jail for the next 10 years? Who was also at top 25 under 25. She was number 1 because she was making a mockery of all those rich people. Even to prick people. Elizabeth Holmes, right? She did a great job as that. And now she gets a role where she gets to try and dissect Tom Holland's character and figure out why he did what he did. And she comes across it because her ex-husband or boyfriend says, hey, this guy, you need to talk to him as a psychiatrist, and she does. That's the premise. You don't get into what's wrong with him until, like, I think it was episode 5 or 6, when it breaks down, when she finally gets the British guy to confess, who's played by one of the most talented actors of my generation. He was great in Sweet November, great as a captain in Star Trek Discovery. Captain Lorca. Great in everything this guy does, and the highlight, but he's so less used that you can't really get into his character. But then it gets into the deep and dark stuff of what's going on in Billy's mind and how he portrays it and how he transforms into Yitzhak, or all the characters that he transforms in. And this is where Tom Holland gets to act. And this is where you get to see him change his mannerisms in the middle of a prison fight, or change his mannerisms when he's brought a girl over and he's about to get robbed, or change his mannerisms where he's about to suck the dick of a crack dealer, drug dealer, right? This is probably where Tom Holland had to take the break, because he was by bar none the best part of the show, because playing these different characters, getting into the head of somebody like Billy McGinnis, Danny Sullivan, is going to be hard. It's going to be tough on your subconscious. Like, it's going to be gross. Right? Ask James McAvoy about the movie Split. He probably felt the same way playing so many different characters. Ask Norman Bates. Ask anybody who played a split personality. Sally Field. Was it Sybil? Oh, what a television event that was. Television movie. That was in. That reference gets dropped in. Sure enough, halfway through there, but it's just slow, and it takes a while for it to get to where it's going. And then when it gets to where it's going, it's probably some of the best acting and sequences and realizations there. And whoever casted Emma Rosen to play Tom Holland's mom is like, what is she, like maybe like 8 years older than him, 10 years older than him? My God, she's still a baby herself. No way she'd be raising a 30-year-old kid. I get it. It's a show. It's supposed to be suspend his disbelief, but the deep and darkness is there. As you can tell, I really like the acting. I really like Tom Holland. This is probably his best, most serious role, other than The Impossible. That's right, I said The Impossible is his best serious role. If you haven't seen that, he's a child actor in that one, but that's a great movie. But this is where he gets to get into a character and get the nuances of somebody who can change their personality like that, which is disturbing in itself. All the praise to Tom Holland. I hope he gets the recognition he deserves. I know the people online don't like it because he has to act gay for a little bit. He has to he has to show the trauma and all that, and like as Ariana and being molested by his stepdad. People don't like that thing because it's probably too real to them and people don't understand. But he does such a great job at portraying each character and becoming them. That even the actors that in his mind that play those guys do a phenomenal job. But then when Tom Holland plays them and you see what's really happening, great job. And I can see why Mr. Holland needed a break, and it was well deserved. He did a phenomenal job. I want you guys to go out there and watch it. See if you think it's a 7.5 worthy, right? It's good enough to watch. It's good enough to get there. Just get past the first little bit. It says it's the end of season 1, but I don't think so. I think it was just a one-time deal, but I don't know how they ended it on the episode that just played last Friday. Maybe that's why it is. But get out there. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you think Tom Holland was as good. Maybe give him an Emmy nomination, because playing split personalities and he does a great job. Whether the fans liked Spider-Man being molested or not, that's up to them. If you can't compartmentalize that he's an actor trying to act, that's on you, man. Right? One of the best movies of our time was Brokeback Mountain, and that had the Joker and Mysterio, who played two gay guys, a gay love story, and people didn't like that, but Joker and Mysterio are okay. It's actors trying to act, and so he had to do some things that were a little not Spider-Man-esque, but he's an actor. This is why he chose this role. This is why he was okay with it. What I want you guys to do, get out there and let me know. Start watching Apple stuff. Hijack. That review is going to come out soon, because I think it's almost the end of that, but I love you guys. Go out there, watch the show, or read the book, whatever you can. I love you guys. You know what I'm going to say. Bom dia, boa tarde, and boa noite. Producer, play the theme song to The Crowded Room. except not, because Apple will sue me. Ciao.